Hello everyone, this is Antpile, and I am playing, well, Dungeon Defenders Eternity. This is a new Dungeon Defenders, I'm sure anyone watching this has played it, where they just sort of reworked the old game into a new game and changed a whole bunch of stuff. Like a whole bunch of stuff. So, it's the same idea, but this is mainly about DPS, this video. I decided early on they changed some stats with the way ability power works. They added this new amulet right here that increases your elemental damage on your weapons drastically over time, but it scales off of your offensive ability power. And they added the ability to weapon swap, as you can see me doing right here, with all the classes. Or before, I believe it was previously restricted to just the Jester. So now they have... So now Elemental basically is a viable source of DPS, where in just vanilla Dungeon Defenders it was not. It was all hero damage all the time. So now it looks like it's kind of the opposite. It seems to be that Elemental damage is just where it's at right now. So, I did this build, and you can see I'm ability power, I'm level 60, but I'm not even wearing great gear. Like, this is not full splendid, I'm still wearing like a strong piece. I've got pretty ass gear here, so this isn't a video about like, oh, look at, I've hit like the best DPS, and I'm so proud of it. It's more just that this is a viable way to build DPS now, and it might even be the best way. Because some of my friends have been trying to make DPSs the more traditional way, with putting the points into the hero damage, which I actually have quite a bit just off my stats, putting the points in the hero damage, and then on the weapon leveling the physical damage of the weapon up instead of the elemental damages. So I did the opposite. I put no points into just the weapon damage, and I put no points into hero damage. And so now I have this. So when I turn my amulet on, right now, it turns a buff, it starts draining mana. You won't see it in the tavern because I have unlimited. But it gives me like, I mean, especially for having crappy gear, this right now is a pretty respectable DPS at the launch of DD1 or DDE. This game's been out a couple of days, so I still get a lot of looks usually when I start doing this in the corner. People still come over like, "Oh, how'd you do that?" Even though this isn't good DPS at all, and with much better splendid gear, I'm sure people will get like 4 times this doing this strategy. But I don't think a lot of people realize this is the way to go yet. This elemental damage. And it looks like one of my missiles isn't hitting, so I'm getting really wonky numbers. But the idea is just that this sort of caster ability power DPS. See, like, here's a guy like, oh, how do you do that? Wow, that's so amazing, even though I'm sure this is not good. And then there's this ability called Curse of Weakness, which with ability power, once again, is better, which easily doubles my DPS. I believe it literally doubles my DPS. Pretty much exactly double. Oh, I keep screwing up the timing. Anytime you see me accidentally overcharge there, it's because I got a little greedy. But and they just nerfed this, by the way. My DPS was about twice this the other day, but they've already nerfed it once. So as of the making of this video, this is basically, it seems to be the way to DPS. And then I have another weapon. It's not as good, poison damage, but just in case I'm shooting at an ogre that's fire resistant. But that's it. So the idea is, once again, you basically just scale the crap out of ability power the way you previously would have done hero damage. Just scale the crap out of ability power. And when you make a weapon, just go to when you're scaling up a weapon, this one's fully upgraded, but you want to level, just ignore the stat, level nothing but the poison damage. This is, once again, this is not great gear I'm doing this DPS with, not at all. In fact, this 3360, if I turn my my... Oh, shit. I did not mean to call out there. If I turn my amulet on, look, that's what, 9,000 now with my amulet on. And it's crazy. This one actually glitched. The fire damage got so high on it that it doesn't show fire damage anymore, which is why I'm not showing you that one too much, because even though it's clearly doing fire damage, it doesn't show on the weapon anymore. For whatever reason. I don't know. That's some sort of bug. So that's that. So once again, a recap. Build ability power. Get this amulet, sturdy elemental affinity. There's strongs out there, so I can actually do better than this too. This isn't even great. But elemental affinity is the important part. And cursive weakness, which, as you can see right there, it makes the move slower, about 40% slower, 32% slower, but 33% slower. Don't worry about my math. Point is, takes 204.25% damage. It's double damage for those. It's not an additional 204, it's just 204. So basically it's an additional 104% damage over base. When you combine these two right now, I mean, Nightmare isn't in the game yet, so there basically isn't an ogre in the game I don't evaporate in like 3 seconds. The 3k or 2.5 million DPS is plenty. Ogres are... They're carrying 10 million tops from what I've seen so far. And that's the high end, so that's like 5 seconds of DPS. I can take them down, and that's like the high end of ogres. So I'm just pretty much obliterating anything in the game at the moment. And I've got... This guy can be vastly improved. So we'll see when I get a lot better gear. But so far, it just doesn't seem like the old style works anymore. It just doesn't seem that way. So that's it. Here's my goofy looking... Oh, one other thing. Just on a side note. Anyone notice my mage is wearing his shoulder pads on his hands and his bracers on his shoulders? Is this an intended thing? Just saying that the mages are so bad at armor they don't know where to wear it? Or is this a bug? I don't know, but it's very strange. My gloves are on my hands. Why? Why is that? I do not know. I do not know. But anyway. So that's it. Ant pile out. Toodles peeps. Bye.